Good morning. This video is going to be about feeders. See a few questions now. People asking what kind of feeder do you use and why. And there's several ways to feed your bees: open feeding, hive top feeding, frame feeding. So we'll go over a few of them. I do use these frame feeders right here. Two downsides to this: it's pretty small, and if they're taking syrup, they're going to take this in probably like 6 hours or a day. They're gonna empty this every day, so that's a downside to this. And the other thing is, inside here, this does have ribs on here so that the bees can climb out, but evidently they're not very good, because when I first started using these, I was getting a lot of drowning. So what I do now is I put screen inside there. Most of my other ones have hardware screen inside it to use as a ladder. This one here, the wire is bigger, but I've had them in for a while and it works. Anything to help them climb out will save them. So this is one, a small frame feeder. This is also a frame feeder. This one here, I know Man Lake sells it. This is a Man Lake one. Maybe others sell the same, but this is Man Lake. They come in 3 sizes. 1 frame, 2 frame, and 3 frame. This one here is 3 inches wide, so it takes up 2 frames. This holds a gallon and a half, I believe, and the 3-inch wide one holds 2 gallons. And this one here comes with this piece of wood for the top, which goes in here. It does go in there. This piece of wood goes in here like this. And this also comes with these rubber bands. And you need to put these rubber bands on. They go right across these tabs on the top here. And you do need to put these on, because if you don't keep this black plastic tight to the wood, if the bees can go in this space, they will. I didn't put these on at first, and I had a lot of dead bees in here. But once I put those 3 of them, there's one here, here, and here. And once you put these rubber bands on to hold this closed tight, these things work okay. And they also have pretty good ladder that goes down inside this hole, and it gives them plenty of way to go up and down. Very rarely do I ever find a dead bee in here. And there's 2 of these, so there's kind of ample room for them to drink. So that's what it looks like when it's all together. They come in 3 different sizes. I buy this one for about 60 cents. I think these ones here, these run around $8 to $12 thereabouts, depending on what size you get for this one here. And then there's hive top feeders. This one here I saw somebody posted this thing, and I checked into it and I bought a couple of them. This is Seracell makes this one, and it actually comes from New Zealand. I don't know if anybody distributes these in the United States, but I'm in Thailand, so I had them sent here. But this thing does come with a piece of woodenware that goes around here that will hold it up in your hive at the right height. This setup here is about $25 because they sell the whole thing separate. They sell this separate, they sell the wood separate, and I think even this plastic thing is separate. Downside to this holds 2.5 gallons, I believe, almost 2.5 gallons. When you put this much liquid into the hive, you're going to have moisture in here, especially on the bottom of your lid. So if you're going to use this type of feeder, I found that you need to drill vent holes in here to keep the condensation down. Now, the bees can access this from underneath. they can access these from underneath. The one in the middle is pretty good. This has a lot of ribs on it right here. So it's really easy for the bees to walk up the inside of this and get the syrup. These ones on the end, there's only 2 ribs here. And there's no ribs on the inside of this that goes down in here. So I use this only for a short time. I don't like that there's no ribs here. They send you this, like, these look like knockouts, but you cannot knock these out. You have to drill this out. You'd have to drill this out, and then you put this on. It's got spacers here. So accessing the center is pretty safe. But this whole setup here is like $25 plus shipping, wherever you're going to send it to. And every time you want to service your hive, you got to lift this thing off. And if you just filled it up or it's half full, it's kind of awkward with the water sloshing around. So there's better alternatives. If you want a hive top feeder, there's better alternatives. Like Dawn makes one that is a lot easier than this here, and cheaper. For the price of this one here, you can probably make 4 Dawns or something like that. So that's it for feeders. It's just like anything else. You have to do what works for you. You know, you can use the Boardman feeder, which is also called the entrance feeder. A lot of people say that aids robbing. I have never used one, so I haven't experienced that. And you have open feeding, and there's all different kinds of ways to do open feeding. Whether you modify a chicken feeder, or you take a 5-gallon